Hi students, welcome to Nallenadar Voice YouTube channel. Students, in this class you are going to learn about Kirchhoff rule. Kirchhoff rule is used to find current and voltage of the circuit. Current and voltage of the circuit. Students, already you know that in lower class you studied the current and voltage for the circuit is measured by using Ohm's law. Okay, by using Ohm's law we can measure the current and voltage. Here the Ohm's law is used to find the current and voltage for the simple circuit. If the circuit is simple, we can calculate the value of the current and voltage by using Ohm's law. The Kirchhoff rule is used to find the current and voltage for the complicated circuit. Kirchhoff first rule is called as Kirchhoff current rule. So the statement of Kirchhoff current rule, it's state that the algebraic sum of the current at any junction of a circuit is 0. The algebraic sum of current at any junction of a circuit is 0. So it is a statement of conservation of electric charge, because all charges that enter a given junction in a circuit must leave the junction, since charge cannot build up or disappear at a junction. So it is a statement of conservation of electric charge. Students, all the charges that enter given junction in a circuit must leave the junction, since charges cannot build up or disappear at a junction. So it is a statement of conservation of electric charge. Here the current entering the junction is taken as a positive and the current leaving the junction is taken as negative. Okay, so the current entering to the circuit is considered as a positive and the current leaving from the junction is taken as negative. So this is a simple circuit diagram to explain the Kirchhoff current rule. In this, the I1 and I2 currents are entering to the junction A, and I3, I4, I5, these are the current leaves from the junction A. So we are going to apply the Kirchhoff current rule to this circuit. Means already we know that it states that the algebraic sum of current at any junction is 0. So here the I1 and I2 is entering to the junction, so it is taken as positive. The I3, I4 and I5 are leave from the junction, it is taken as negative. So we can calculate the algebraic sum of the current metered junction is I1 plus I2 minus I3 minus I4 minus I5 is equal to 0. Okay students, here the I1 and I2 are entering, so it is taken as positive. The I3, I4 and I5 are leaving from the junction, so it is taken as negative. So the algebraic sum of the current meet at junction A is I1 plus I2 minus I3 minus I4 minus I5 is equal to 0. Or it can be written as I1 plus I2 is equal to I3 plus I4 plus I5. Next, Kirchhoff second rule. Kirchhoff second rule is called as voltage rule or loop rule. It states that in a closed circuit, the algebraic sum of the product of the current and the resistance of each part of the circuit is equal to the total electromotive force included in the circuit. What is the statement? In a closed circuit, the algebraic sum of the product of current and resistance of each part of the circuit is equal to total electromotive force included in the circuit. Okay, okay students, I hope that you understood, right? Once again I will repeat that. In a closed circuit, the algebraic sum of the product of the current and resistance of each part of the circuit is equal to total electromotive force included in the circuit. Total electromotive force included in the circuit. This rule follows from the law of conservation of energy for an isolated system. Okay, this is a rule follows from the law of conservation of energy for an isolated system. Okay, the energy supplied by the electromotive force sources is equal to sum of the energy delivered to all resistors. Okay, so according to this the law of conservation of energy, we can understand by using this the energy supplied by the electromotive force sources is equal to the sum of the energy delivered to all resistor. Right. The product of the current and resistance is taken as a positive when the direction of the current is along the direction of the loop. Okay. Here the loop A, B. Here the directions of the current is along the directions of the loop, so it is considered as positive. Next, suppose if the directions of the current is opposite to the direction of the loop, then the product of the current and voltage across the resistor is considered as negative. Okay, here the directions of the loop from A to B. According to this diagram, the current is flow from B to A. So the directions of the current is opposite to the direction of the loop. Then the product of the current and the resistance is considered as negative. The electromotive force is considered positive when proceeding from the negative terminal to the positive terminal of the cell. Okay students, this is a cell, it is a positive terminal, it is a negative terminal. Here this loop is going from the A to B. It is going from the A to B means what is that? Here it is moves from the negative terminal to positive terminal. Like this, the electromotive force is considered positive when proceeding from the negative to positive terminal. Next, the electromotive force is considered as negative when proceeding from the positive to negative terminal. According to this diagram, this is a positive terminal, this is a negative terminal. Here the loop going from B to A, going from B to A. B to A means it is from the positive to the negative terminal. So the electromotive force is considered as negative when proceeding from the positive to the negative terminal of the cell. Okay students, right? Here the Kirchhoff voltage rule has to be applied only when all the current in the circuit reach a steady state condition. What is the meaning for steady state condition? Here all the current reach to a constant. All the current reach to the constant value. Students, follow that. Now I am going to teach one important 5-mark question, that is Wheatstone bridge. Here the Wheatstone bridge is the important application of Kirchhoff rule. The important application of the Kirchhoff rule is Wheatstone bridge. Students, it is useful to compare resistances and helps in determining the unknown resistance in electrical network. Okay, so the Wheatstone bridge is useful to compare resistances and also helps in determining the unknown resistance of resistor in the electrical network. It consists of 4 resistances, that is P, Q, R, S. There are 4 resistances. It is connected in the form of A, B, C, D. That is also shown in the figure. Here a galvanometer G is connected between the point B and D. Here the galvanometer G is connected between the point B and D. Okay, it's like a closed network. In this, the galvanometer is connected between the point B and D. The battery is connected between the point A and C. In this network, the battery is connected between the A and C. The current through the galvanometer is Ig and its resistance is G. Okay, when the battery is applied, the current passing through the galvanometer is noted by letter Ig. Here it has the resistance is G. Applying Kirchhoff's current rule to the junction B and D. First, we are going to apply the Kirchhoff current rule to the junction B. Already you know the statement of the Kirchhoff current rule. It states that the algebraic sum of the current at any junction is 0. Okay, so what are the current is entering, what are the current is meet at a point B. Here from the A, the I1 current is passing through the resistor. B, it is meet at point B, and then from the point B, the current passing through the galvanometer is noted by letter Ig. The current passing through the resistor Q is noted by letter I3. Okay, so when the battery is connected means that I current is passing at a point A, the I current is split into I1 and I2. The I1 is passing through the resistor P, the I2 is passing through the resistor R. That I1 current is meet at junction B, then it is split into Ig and I3. The Ig is passing through the galvanometer, I3 is passing through the Q. Here this I3 current is meet at junction C, then this I2 current is passing through the resistor R and meet the junction D, then it is flow through the resistor S. That current is I4. Now the current I4 and I3 is meet at a junction C, then here it is reached to negative terminal of the battery. Okay, so like at a point D, the current I2 and Ig is meet, then it is passing as I4 through the resistor S. Okay, then the current I4 and I3 is meet at a junction C, then it is reached to the negative terminal, the current value I. So applying Kirchhoff current rule for the junction B means what are the current is entering at a point B, that is I1, next I3, Ig. These are the current meet at a point B. These are the current meet at a point B. So applying the Kirchhoff current rule, we know that the algebraic sum of the current at any junction is 0. If it is entering to the junction, it is considered as positive. If it is leaving from the junction, it is considered as negative. So according to this diagram, the I1 is entering to the point B, Ig and I3 are leaving from the point B. So we can write I1 minus Ig minus I3 is equal to 0. Next, applying Kirchhoff current rule to the junction D. So in a junction D, what are the currents are entering? We know that the I2, Ig are entering to the point D and the I4 current is leaving from the point D. So if we apply the current rule for the junction at a point D, we can write the I2 plus Ig minus I4 is equal to 0. Okay, the I2 plus Ig minus I4 is equal to 0. Next, applying Kirchhoff voltage rule to the loop ABDA. Applying Kirchhoff's second rule to the closed loop ABDA. So the statement of the Kirchhoff current rule, It's stated that the algebraic sum of the product of current and the resistance is equal to the total electromotive force induced in the circuit. So if it is applied to the closed rule of ABDA means, in this the I1 current passing through the resistance P, IG current passing through the resistance G, the I2 current is passing through the resistor R. Okay, so first we calculate the product of the I1 and P. Then IG and G, then the I2 current passing through the resistor. The I2 current passing through the resistor, it is taken as negative because we are calculating from the D to A. The current is flow from A to D, so it is considered as negative. Okay, here the current is passing along the direction AB. Here the current IG is passing BD. So here the directions of the current is along the directions of the circuit, direction of the loop. So it is considered as positive. Here in this, here we are taking the direction of the loop DA, but the current is passing from A to D. So the directions of the current is opposite to the direction of the loop. So it is considered as negative. So we can write that equation I1 I1P plus IGC minus I2R is equal to 0. Okay friends, have you understood? Once again I will repeat you. Okay, so that is the product of the current and the resistance, that is I1P. Here the product of the current and resistance, that is IGC. The directions of the current is opposite to the directions of the loop. Okay, in this diagram. So the product of the current and resistance, that is I2R, it is taken as negative. So we can write I1P plus IGC minus I2R is equal to 0. Next, applying Kirchhoff voltage law to the loop A, B, C, D, A. To the loop A, B, C, D, A. That is a closed loop. So first we are taking the product of the current and resistance, that is I1P. It has a direction along the loop AB, so we can write that is a positive I1P. Next, the I3 current is passing through the resistor Q. It is along the directions of the loop, so we can write that is also positive, so plus I3Q. Next, here the directions of the loop from C to D, the current is to flow from D to C. So the product of the current and resistance, that is I4S, it is taken as negative. Then the directions of the loop from D to A, we consider the loop A, B, C, D, A. So the directions of the loop is DA. The product of the current is I to R. The current is opposite to the direction of the loop, so it is considered as negative. So that is minus I to R. It is equal to 0. When the point B and D are at the same potential, we consider the point B and D are at the same potential. Are at the same potential means what is the meaning? The bridge is said to be balanced. The point B and D are same potential means here the circuit or the bridge is said to be balanced. Like the bridge is said to be balanced means the value of the Ig is equal to 0. The value of the Ig is equal to 0. Like as there is no potential difference between the B and D, no current flow through the galvanometer, so we can take Ig is equal to 0. Substituting Ig is equal to 0 in that equation 2.45, 2.46 and 2.47. we get I1 is equal to I3. What is the first equation? This is the first equation. Sorry. This is the first equation. Here the Ig is equal to 0 means in next step it can be written as I1 minus I3 is equal to 0. I1 minus I3 is equal to 0. Okay, the Ig is equal to 0. So we can write I1 minus I3 is equal to 0. So I1 is equal to I3 is equal to I3. In second equation, that is 2.46. Here the Ig is equal to 0. So I2 minus I4 is equal to 0. So we can write I2 is equal to I4. Applying Kirchhoff voltage rule to the loop ABDA, we get the equation I1P, IGC minus I2R is equal to 0. Here we take the Ig is equal to 0. It is substituted in this equation means we can get I1P minus I2R is equal to 0. Students, by substituting the value of Ig is equal to 0 in equation 2.45, 2.46 and 2.47, we get I1 is equal to I3, I2 is equal to I4, I1P is equal to I2R. So these values, the I1 is equal to I3, I2 is equal to I4, I1P is equal to I2R. These values are substituting in equation 2.48. What is a 2.48? That is I1P is plus I3Q minus I4S minus I2R is equal to 0. We get what is the values of the I3? I3 is equal to I1. So we can write I1P plus I1Q minus I2S minus I2R. Okay, so from this equation we can write I1 is equal to I3, I2 is equal to I4. So the equation 2.48 is modified to I1P plus I1Q minus I2S minus I2R is equal to 0. In next step it can be written as I1P plus I1Q is equal to I2S plus I2R. Okay, so the values in negative in left hand side, it will become as positive in right hand side. From this, here both are having the I1, so that is equal. So it will be taken outside means it can be written as I1 into P plus Q is equal to, in right hand side is also, it has a I2 values are same, so it will be taken outside. So I2 into R plus S, that is equation number 2.52. Now the equation 2.52 is divided by the equation 2.51. So what is the 2.52? That is I1 into P plus Q is equal to I2 into R plus S. It is divided by the equation I1P is equal to I2R. First we divide the left hand side. That is I1 into P plus Q divided by I1P. It is equal to I2 into R plus S divided by I2R. So I1 cancelled, so it will be written as P plus Q divided by P is equal to, right hand side I2 cancelled, so it can be written as R plus S divided by R. Students, from this it can be written as, this equation is split into P divided by P plus Q divided by P. Right hand side is equal to R divided by R plus S divided by R. So in next step P cancelled means that it will become as 1 plus Q divided by P is equal to R divided by R, that is 1 plus S divided by R. In next step left hand side, right hand side it has the same values, so we can neglect. So this equation is modified to 1 plus Q divided by P is equal to 1 plus S divided by R is modified to Q divided by P is equal to S divided by R. Okay friends, 1 cancelled, so this equation is modified to Q divided by P is equal to S divided by R. So from this we can write the P divided by Q. We can take the inverse form. P divided by Q is equal to R divided by S. R divided by S. This is the bridge balance condition. Only under this condition, galvanometer shows null deflection. Okay, we take the condition, the galvanometer is 0, Ig is equal to 0. Okay, the current passing through the galvanometer is equal to 0, Ig is equal to 0. So, only under this condition, galvanometer shows null deflection. Suppose we know the values of two adjacent resistances, the other two resistances can be compared. If three of the resistances are known, the value of unknown resistance can be determined. Okay, suppose if you need to calculate the values of the P means, it can be calculated by using the formula of P is equal to R divided by S into Q. If you know the values of the R, Q, S, you can calculate the values of the P.